All right, so we back, man. Welcome back to another episode. This is your boy Raynell Jamal. This is the third episode in this series, which I'm calling Kendrick Lamar versus Drake Retrospective Reactions. And for those who are here for the first time, what that is, every time that a song is released on the 1 year anniversary of the battle, I will be dropping a video giving my retrospective reaction to that particular song. So we started off this series with Like That. If you haven't seen that, please check the description, click the link, and go back and watch that. And then the last video I did, which was episode 2, was J. Cole's 7 Minute Drill. I did a 1 year retrospective reaction to the song and the apology that followed 5 days after at Dreamville Fest. I just want to say, man, this has been a fun journey. I really appreciate the love, man. This is a small YouTube channel. I've been gaining subscribers off of those videos. So if anybody watched it, for anybody that liked it, commented, or even shared it, where you agree with what I said or disagree with what I said, I truly appreciate you for tuning in. And I'm going to keep this going. YouTube is something I've really been wanting to do for a very long time. And I've been very hesitant to do it over the years, a little bit fearful, for any content creator. It's just, it's a journey within itself just to put yourself out there. And I just want to thank y'all for the support. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep doing this on my channel. You're going to get, of course, the hip hop and the music takes. You're going to get just life content as far as like lifestyle, the stuff that I'm into. I mean, I'm into the arts. You know what I mean? I'm into movies, music, TV shows. I'm into comics. I'm into vinyl. I'm really a big music head. I'm a vinyl collector. I'm also into wrestling. So those are the things you're going to get on this channel. So if you follow me on here for my hip hop and music content, I'm going to continue to give you that because I want to build a community of people who's like me. You know what I mean? Who just love hip hop, who love culture, who's not afraid to, say that they like wrestling, who's not afraid to say that, they love God, they want to live a better life and pursue, being great in all aspects of life. So that's what this channel is all about. So me stepping out on faith and putting this channel together and doing these videos has been a journey. It's been rewarding watching it grow. And I just want to thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I'm going to keep it going. So with all that out the way, I just want to say this. I know moving forward, we're about to get into the meat and potatoes of this whole battle. And I do understand how divisive this battle has caused hip hop. I get it. Like I said, I've been around for a long time. I've seen the Jay-Z and Nas's. I've seen the Tupacs and Biggs. I've seen the 50 Cents and Ja Rules. I've seen all the battles over the years. But for some reason, this has been one of the most divisive battles within the culture of hip hop. And I know the reason why, and we will talk about those reasons why as this series continue, because it's going to point out to something that I alluded to when it came to Like That, which was that we're starting to realize that there's a difference between hip hop fans and then Drake fans, or Drake fans who thought they knew what hip hop was because of his reign of allegedly him being the best for 15 years, but it's really him just being a hit maker within hip hop for 15 years. Not necessarily the best, but just being the most commercialized hip hop hit maker for that generation for 15 years. So, but we're going to get into all of that and all the narratives as this series go on, because it really, as the series go on, we're going to start to delve into the divisiveness that this caused. But what I wanted to say was, I do understand that the OVOs, the Drake fans, the Kendrick haters are going to now jump into these comments. I just want to say, let's be respectful amongst each other's opinions. I don't want to hear, K-bots, K-dolls, K-sexuals, all of that. And even the Kendrick fans, we don't got to be disrespectful to those who like Drake and his music. I'm not going to sit here and say that Drake is not a talented artist. I would never say that Drake can't rap. I would never say that Drake isn't a great musician. He's a legend at what he does. Would I consider Drake a traditional hip hop artist? No, no. But would I say that he's not a musician? Would I say he's not a good rapper? Would I say he's not a good songwriter? I wouldn't say those things either because he is for what he does. Now, I've never been a fan of Drake singing. I don't think he makes good R&B music. That's my personal opinion. I'm not a fan of his singing voice. I think it sounds atrocious. But I'm not mad at anybody that likes it because like music is subjective. What I like, you might not like, and what you like, I might not like. I'm not going to hate on it. It's just that, like I like to tell people, it's not my taste. For my taste, I like hip hop that sounds a particular way. I'm open to listening to different things, but it's not like I'm going to like it. So moving forward, I just want to say we about to go there. We about to get into the deep waters of these things. I'm going to be completely honest of how I felt about every song from Drake and Kendrick moving forward. And I know it's going to ruffle feathers. But again, this is my YouTube channel and this is my retrospective reactions of how I felt. If you don't like it, that's your prerogative, but let's just be respectful. We adults here. You feel what I'm saying? We adults. We by now we should understand that everybody ain't gonna like what you have to say. And that's all good. So let's get into it. Now, this is a big weekend. This weekend is big. So today is April 19th, Saturday, April 19th. So this weekend we have a lot going on. We have, first of all, for those who are believers out there, we have Easter slash Resurrection Sunday, which is Sunday coming up. We also, for the wrestling fans out there, we got WrestleMania weekend that starts today. So night one of WrestleMania is today. Tomorrow will be night two. But we also got the 1 year anniversary of Drake push-ups. Ironically, this is also the day that Kendrick Lamar Stadium tour with SZA, the GNX tour, starts today. Which, as I was putting this video together, I realized and I was like, wow. Man, when I tell you Kendrick has shown that he's been playing chess and he's like 10 or 20 moves ahead of this dude, it's not even funny. Like this, like 1 year anniversary of the push-ups, and then you start the GNX tour. Like we'll get into that later. But look, this is the 1 year anniversary of the official release of push-ups, and that's where we're going to start. We left off with episode 1. I said after like that, Drake had to respond. He should respond, and he had to respond. And the reason I felt like he needed to respond because the Cold War and the subliminals have been going on for so long, and he has been the one that's been emotional and butthurt about control for so long that when the opportunity finally arose for him to see what he's really about, he has to take it. You can't spend a lot of time shooting at little rappers in your eyes, except Pusha. You took the L with Pusha, but you feel like you could take down others, but when it comes to somebody on your level, you duck it. He had to take this smoke. He had to respond. I also said that I felt J. Cole shouldn't have responded. I just felt like it was not for J. Cole. It didn't warrant a response, maybe a phone call. But then episode 2, we get into how shocked I was that J. Cole responded with a full track on his Might Delete Later mixtape, which was entitled 7 Minute Drill. I didn't like it. I felt like it was just a very dull jab. It was a warning shot that I felt wasn't really even a warning. It was just no heart in it. Like I said, it was no sting or pop in the punch of the jab. It just didn't hit for me. I like the second half of the song. The first half and the overall angle he took, I felt was just bad. Then that led to the apology at Dreamville Fest, which was 5 days later. So I wanted to make a point here. Like That was released March 26th. The leaked version of Drake Push-Ups was April 13th, was approximately 18 days. Then, if you count the official release, which is what we're going to celebrate on this channel, was the official release, which was April 19th. That was exactly, and I'm looking at my notes, 24 days from when Like That was dropped to Drake a dropping a response. So whether you want to say was 18 to 24 days, just take note of that because the way y'all was acting like Kendrick was ducking smoke and he was taking too long to respond, please explain to me how y'all put him on the clock to respond to Drake, but you didn't put Drake on the clock to respond to Like That. And y'all kind of did, but you gave him a pass for how long it took. So, like I said, let's just put a pin there. 18 days, if you want to count just him throwing something on the internet, which we're going to talk about. And then 24 days, if you want to count the official release of Push Ups. Let's just put a pin there. Now, let's start from the top. It was April 13th, right? I'm on X because now the internet is ablaze. The internet is ablaze, and everybody is fully immersed and invested in this battle. We all are. J. Cole dropped. I mean, like I said, when Like That dropped, we all knew what time it was. When J. Cole dropped, we was like, oh, dog, it's about to go down. Then he apologized. So did he X himself out the equation? Then that means there's only one person who needs to respond, right? So everybody is waiting. Yo, is Drake gonna say something? Then you got academics who out here, being the unofficial Drake spokesperson. And he's saying like, yo, it's gonna happen. Drake got something dropping. And all of a sudden I'm on X and I'm seeing there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of talk that something leaked. April 13th, right? So I'm looking like, I'm searching like, what is going on? And they're like, nah, that's fake. Yeah, I'll look at Low. I'm looking at DJ Head. I'm looking at a lot of different people giving their responses to this leaked Drake response. So I'm like, man, okay, let me hear it. I finally was able to hear it in on a certain account. I think it was the NFR podcast. They posted up the clip of the leaked version, and it was Drake, responding. And I was kind of like, okay, is this real? People were saying it was AI, it wasn't real. But then I saw Mickey Fax because he is an insider. He's an insider. If y'all don't know who Mickey Fax is, he came out during the era of Drake and Kendrick Lamar. He actually got a song with both of them. He's a dope MC, a battle rapper, but he also is a well-known songwriter slash ghostwriter in the industry. So, I like to tap into what he says because he has more of an insider view on what is what. And he said, like, yo, y'all, this is real. I know we'll keep saying it's AI, but AI isn't that advanced to do some of the inflections in the breathing in the voice. This is a real drop. This is a real response. I was like, wow. So I'm listening to it and I'm like, I don't know if this is enough. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. So then I start to see that, the conversation starts to change among the hip hop heads and those who are affiliated with Kendrick, like DJ Head. And he was saying, like, yo, if this is real, you need to claim your work. Stand behind what you say. Don't just let it be lived out there on the internet. And we don't know if it's you. We don't know where it came from. We don't know how it got out there. It just appears. And you're kind of like just pulling out a test to see if it will pop or not. If you put this out there or you wanted it to be known, they claim the work and officially release it. And I agree with him on that because Kendrick made his statement clear on a feature verse. Even J. Cole made his statement clear by putting out a song officially on his mixtape. So you can't play the slick internet games when it comes to this. If you gonna respond and respond the way you're supposed to. So that leads us to April 19th, which is kind of crazy, right? So think about it. He pushes it out there. The narrative, at first, it was people was hyped. Then the narrative began to change, like, yo, is this real or not? And then you get called out for it. Like, yo, what's going on here? Are you responding or are you not responding? Are you playing games or are you not playing games? And then even that, instead of putting it out officially, he still waited until April 19th. So 5 days until we got the official Drake push-ups response. So that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're going to discuss, and that's what we're going to do a retrospective reaction on. So let's get into it. I wake up on April 19th. I'm chilling, and when the homies hit up in the group chat, yo, it's an official response. He released it. I'm like, what? He released what? It was like, yo, Drake put out a song. And I said, it's the same song. Remind you, the clip and the snippet that came out on April 13th didn't even come out from Drake's official accounts. It didn't come from his IG. It didn't come from his X. It didn't come from his website. It didn't come from his SoundCloud like he usually does with other diss tracks. I don't know where it came from. It just appeared. You know what I mean? It seemed like it was a lot of narratives being flying around. So I just kind of left it alone. You know what I mean? I just felt like it wasn't enough for me to dig into. But it officially released, right? So the album cover, he gave us like a Nike shoe size or a size 7 and all of that. But then we got this. So when I finally pulled it up and I listened to it, I was like, okay, here we go. Let's go.
Hey, I could never be nobody number one.
All right, so be honest with you. I saw that 50 Cent was saying that something was coming. The boy is out here doing his thing. I saw a lot of the Young Money people online getting real hyped about this. I saw Mac Main trying to antagonize Punch. And then the Woo Kid in the beginning, I was kind of like, oh, okay, so I don't like, is he going for a mixtape feel with this or what? You know what I mean? Is that what he was trying to go for? Because the beat was different on the leak version than this. I was like, was he trying to go for like a mixtape drop, or I don't know what was coming, but I heard the Woo Kid and I was like, okay. So then I heard the beat. Again, this beat didn't grab me. It was more like, okay. But I was like, let's hear what he got to say.
One fan, your first number one, I had to put it in your hand. You pussies can't get booked outside America for nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I'm the hit maker y'all depend on.
So the first couple of bars, obviously, he's talking about like Future and the other rappers. I didn't really like it. I thought it was just very mid. And I was just like, oh, so this is real. So the leak was real. Okay.
Backstage in my city, it was friend zone. You won't never take no chain off of us. How the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 man zone?
All right, so I saw online when this dropped that everybody was going crazy over that. Everybody, how you big stepping with a size 7 man's on. And when I heard that, and I was like, that's corny. Like, I was beginning to realize, like, maybe Drake isn't even nearly as equipped lyrically to handle Kendrick. Because as a Kendrick Lamar fan, for those who don't know, like, he's always had a battle element in his rhyming and how he approached rapping. It's always been like, I'm better than you. I want to be the greatest. He's been stating that claim and making that known for a very long time. Even before his full on success, even before his full on success. Like if I remember when Kendrick used to drop stuff on Two Dope Boys, like freestyles and stuff like that. He's made it clear, like he always had a battle element, a battle style to the way he approached hip hop. So when I was hearing Drake talk like this, it made me think like, I don't know if he truly understands who he's up against here. Because even though this is a jab, but this is also a response. And I like that was just a corny bar that a lot of people was just overreacting to. That was how I felt. Now I know, like I said, the OVO fans are gonna jump into the comments and act like that he said the most profound bar. I didn't feel that way. But let's continue.
This the part with the bite, nigga, what's up? I know my picture on the wall when y'all cook up. Extortion, baby, whole career, you been shook up. Cause Top told you drop it, give me 50 likes of push-ups. Cool, your last one brick, you really not on shit. They make excuses for you cause they hate to see me lit. Pull your contract cause we gotta see the split. The way you doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip.
Okay, now, this is another thing that I felt was corny. Your pants might rip. Like, I didn't like the beat. I saw where he was going with the angle, and I was like, this is kind of mid. And not only mid, it's corny. It's like corny. We're talking about contracts, and so far for me, I was just like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it, beloved. Let's continue.
You better do that motherfucking show inside the bitty. Maroon 5 need a verse, you better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. Top say drop, you better drop and give them 50.
Now, what's crazy about that particular section and bar was the fact that he tried to make it seem like, Top is making Kendrick jump on these pop star songs so he could get the bread from it. But you were doing similar things. I mean, you jumped on Rihanna stuff. You know what I mean? You was on an Apple Music commercial with Taylor Swift. Like, Drake, you're a pop star, my boy. You're a pop star. Like, we're not going to sit here and make it seem like Kendrick is more pop than you when you are literally a pop star. Kendrick is known to be a hip-hop artist. You're known to be a pop hip-hop artist. You're a hip-hop artist. You feel me? So, like, that also, for me, didn't land. It was kind of like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing there. I don't know if that's enough. For your fans, it's going to land. But for those who really know hip-hop, I don't know if that's going to stick like you think it's going to. And then you try to say Biddy, because, for those who don't know in LA, or, you might know some Bloods, but, they don't use, words that start with C. So it's kind of like he was trying to throw a jab at Kendrick's Blood affiliation by saying, the Biddy. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, I see what he's doing. But for me, like I said, for me personally, I just felt like it wasn't hitting like people was making it out to be. It just wasn't landing for me. It was kind of like, oh, that's kind of corny. This is just a really corny approach to this. This is serious. This isn't, somebody you could take lightly. This is a real serious hip hop lyricist who was a legend, just as much as you were a legend. He might not be as commercially successful or has a commercial appeal as you, but to take him lightly as if he's not on your level is truly, truly a direct correlation to your ego. And you're going to get your head ripped off if you keep taking it this way. That's how I felt. I was like, you're not taking it serious enough, bro. This is not a game. This is a real thing right here. You thought you could duck Pusha, but you can't duck this one. And you got to get your head in the game. And I felt like his head wasn't in the game when I'm listening to these bars so far.
Pip squeak, pipe down, you ain't in no big three. SZA got you wiped down, Travis got you wiped down, Savage got you wiped down. Like your label, boy, you in a scope right now. And you
Okay, so he said the whole pipsqueak stuff. Like I said, that stuff is just corny. But saying SZA got you wiped down and all of that stuff. Okay, we know that's not true, but I get what he's trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, um, I got you in a scope right now. That's cool. I've heard that stuff. If you're a fan of battle rap, they've used that bar or metaphor before, so it's clear. I mean, we all know Drake is a battle rap fan. So I wasn't surprised to hear him use something like that. But to me, again, it just isn't hitting for me. It's just more like I'm still waiting for it to like turn up. It's like waiting for it to intensify at this point. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he's going to do a beat switch and he's going to take it to another level. He going to really get into his bag rapping. But I'm still kind of waiting for something to me that's warranting all the hype that's online. So let's continue.
You gon' feel the aftermath of what I write down. I'm at the top of the mountain, so you tight now. Just to have this talk with your ass, I had to hike down.
I thought that was cool. I'm at the top of the mountain just to have this talk with you. I had to hike down. That's pretty clever. But again, it's just not really like hitting for me. It's kind of like, oh, okay. Are we gonna start taking it serious on the pipsqueak, the size 7 men's on? Like, you talking about height and everything like that. Are we going to, is this where we going to be at the whole time? Let's continue.
Big difference between Mike then and Mike now. What the fuck is this, a 20v1, nigga? What's a prince to a king? He a son, nigga. Get more love in a city that you from, nigga. Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga. Yeah.
No, I thought that part was pretty dope. What's a prince to a king? He's my son. All of that stuff he was saying, I thought that was pretty cool. But I think the most standout bar of this was just the fact that he told, Metro to shut up and go make some drums. I thought that was funny. I was like, okay. Now, again, the stuff towards Kendrick is just corny to me. But the stuff he's rapping towards the other rappers seems to have a little bit more sting and more bite to it. I thought that he would be a little bit more corny and take the other rappers lightly, but he will start getting more intensity in the bite when it came to the lyrics on Kendrick. But it seems like he's doing the opposite here. And I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he's going to dedicate a whole section to Kendrick because Kendrick is the one who came out shooting, not the other rappers. He's the one that's really being direct towards you. That should be your main focus here. So I'm still waiting for this to turn up.
Yeah, I'm the sixth guy, I'm the front runner. Y'all nigga manager was Charles' little blunt runner. Playing a six and you boys ain't even come from it. And when you boys got rich, you had to run from it. Cash blowing, able bread out here tricking. Shit we do for bitches, he doing for niggas. Jets, whips, chains, wicked. Spinning like you trying to fuck, boy you tripping. Drizzy chipping there.
All right, so obviously he got some smoke for the weekend. Now the stuff towards the weekend, that was some bite. Again, I'm thinking he gonna have a lot more bite for Kendrick, but he got a lot more bite for everybody else. But the stuff he's talking about Kendrick is just really corny in my opinion. So like what he just shot at the weekend, I was like, okay, he got smoke for the weekend, okay. But I'm still waiting.
Probably got your bitch Chanel, I just got them done. Boy, don't make me at the chip and nail. Rolling loud stage, I would turn, that was slick as hell. Shit'll probably change if his BM start to kiss and tell. Hugs and kisses, man, don't tell me about no switches.
Okay, that was cool. Travis Scott was on the stage. He had Metro Boomin play the beat for Like That before Like That was like that. You know what I'm saying? If you follow me, you follow me. But yeah, so he's referring, he has a lot of smoke for everybody else, but the smoke he has for Kendrick is very minimal. And I thought it would be a lot. But again, as I'm listening to it, I'm thinking as we get further into it, this is 2 minutes and 11 seconds at this point, that this is just not going to be enough. I hope you got something else coming because this maybe, and as I was listening to it further, I was like, okay, maybe this is just like the first one for everybody else. but then he gonna drop another one and he gonna just start going in on Kendrick. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was expecting. But then again, listening to this, it was just more like, nah, this ain't gonna be it, brother. I hope you I hope you taking this a little bit more serious than what this sounds like. This doesn't even sound like you're realizing who you're up against.
I be rocking every fucking chain I own next visit, ayy. I be with some bodyguards like Whitney. Top say, drop your little midget ass, better fucking, ayy.
So, in my opinion, listening to that, and this is what blew up the group chat, this was the first mistake he made right here. That bar, particularly. I was kind of shocked he did this because of what just happened with the Pusha T situation. I don't understand why he decided to shoot at Whitney, which is, for those who don't know, which is Kendrick's, as we know, his fiance and the mother of his children that he's still with, that they're still together with to this day. You know, he referred to how, like, you know, next time he's in LA, basically he gonna rock every chain on. You ain't taking it. You know, come with some bodyguards like Whitney. And I know his fans are gonna jump in here and be like, he was referring to Whitney Houston, a bodyguard. He was trying. Nah, bruh. See, this is the thing we got to realize, man. These rappers know how to get each other's attention. You might be listening to something, but they're hearing it a totally different way because they understand the language between them with inside the business. And when I heard him say that, I was just like, nah, nah. And I remember I told the homies in the group chat, I was like, he's gonna pay for that bar. That's like, you think so? I was like, what just happened with the whole Pusha T thing? And everybody in the group chat was just kind of like, why does he keep doing this? I don't understand why Drake thinks that going after family and people's wives or fiance or mother of children is something that is just, that is okay. Now, where I'm from, I mean, look, man, I done seen people get their heads knocked off from talking about somebody's mama, for talking about somebody's wife, for talking about the mother of somebody's child, for talking about somebody's grandmother, for talking about somebody's sister, for talking about somebody's cousin or auntie. Like, especially what you like, a homie could get you beat up, but talking about the woman of somebody's family that they hold near and dear to their heart, I've never seen it go right. Never. Not in my life. Now, maybe from where you come from, but in my life, I've never seen it go right. I've seen people get beat down over mentions of the females in somebody's family. So I don't get, and I need somebody to help me understand. I don't get why he think that's just acceptable. I don't think why he thinks that's just okay. Like, those things aren't going to come with any type of repercussions or consequences. That's when I was like, oh yeah, nah, bruh. First of all, the song is just corny. It's mid to me. But then you gonna just use it as a moment to take a dig at his lady, the mother of his children. I don't get why he thought that was like that didn't warrant a personal response. Like, you going to family off of a light jab on like that. Yeah, it was potent because he talked about like your place in hip hop. He talked about your skill set as an MC. Like, yo, let's see if you're really about that. You know, all your dogs. Like, you know, he Kendrick kept it music. You went to family. That's when I knew, like, maybe he ain't really cut out for this, because I just don't get it. I don't get why you would go this route. And we all know this, and everybody that is a hip hop fan, everybody that is a battle rap fan, everybody that is a fan of just rap battles in general knew when you heard that bar, no matter how much the Drake fans try to downplay it, when you heard that bar, you knew it was going to be hell to pay. You knew it was going to be hell to pay, that he took it to another level that I don't think he truly understood the consequences and the ramifications that could come from it. You just did it with Pusha, and then you did it again. This is part of the reason why I don't have a lot of. I'm empathetic, but then I don't have a lot of sympathy towards the outcome of this battle because Drake came out violating. You came out violating from the jump with this, and now you want to play victim. That just doesn't work. Now when we have documented songs of you taking it to a place that it didn't need to go. You're responsible for taking it to a place that it didn't need to go. Let's continue.
Drop and give me 50, ay, drop and give me 50, drop and give me 50, ay. Niggas really got me out here talking like I'm 50, ay. Niggas really got me out here rapping what I'm living. I might.
Okay. So then, it tied. When I heard that, I was like, oh, okay. So he's trying to give it a 50. 50 was trying to help promote the song, basically. Then you have the Wu Kid in the middle. So you was trying to give a G Unit type of feel. You have the G Unit chain and Family Matters. So I feel what he was trying to do. But he said people out here got me out here really rapping what I'm living. Dog, you ain't a gangster. You not a. Come on. Nah, we don't believe that one bit, my boy. Okay, I don't know what you talking about with all of that, but no. And not when you got somebody like Kendrick Lamar who has had people validate that he's not a blood, but he has strong affiliations to it. Like I said, the whole tough guy act, taking shots at Kendrick's lady, I just don't know why that needed to be done. You could rap without going there, or can you not? Or this is what you feel is the only way you could try to win the battle is by making it like headline Twitter talk. And we're gonna get further into that as this go on about how I feel Drake was trying not to win a battle, but he was trying to win the internet. And that's why he approached the angles the way he did and how it just also fell flat in this battle. But we'll get into that deeper as this go. But yeah, the tough guy thing, I just was really like, nah, bruh. Nah.
Take your latest girl and cuff her like I'm Ricky. Can't believe he jumping in, this nigga turning 50. Every song that made it on the chart, he got from Drizzy. Spend that little check, you gotta stay up out my business. Nigga, shout out to the hooper that be busting out the gritty.
All right, so he took a shot at Rick Ross there.
We know why you mad, nigga, I ain't even tripping.
All right, so for those who don't know, he taking a shot at Ja Morant because allegedly, I don't know how true all of this stuff is because I don't know these people personally, but Ja Morant and Lotto's younger sister used to be a thing. I guess she left Ja Morant, and next you know, she pops up and she's messing with Drake. So Lotto's younger sister, I'm not saying, she's in her 20s, but her and Drake was a thing, and he's referring to why Ja Morant is mad at him because he took Lotto's sister.
All that little heartbroken Twitter shit for bitches. This far the top dog, drop and give me 50, drop. In that fucking song, y'all got to not start the beef with us. This shit been brewing in a pot, now I'm heating up. I don't care what Cole think, that dot shit was weak as fuck. Champagne tripping, he is not fucking easing up.
Yeah, I don't like the way he even sounded here. It sounded very like uninterested. It's like, well, the not be with the. It's like, come on, bro. Like, I just didn't like. I didn't like the way it sounded. It sounded very like lazy, in a sense. I just didn't really feel what he was saying right there. I know he was saying, I don't care what Cole would think. That dot stuff is weak. Champagne is tripping, and I'm not easing up. Referring to himself, Champagne Poppy. Okay, so when he said that, I was like, okay, maybe there's gonna be something else where we're gonna get a beat switch like this 7-minute drill, and he about to get busy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like I said, I'm not gonna say that Drake can't rap. Drake can rap, you know what I mean? So I was expecting for him to like really be spitting. But I feel like we got a little bit too much playing around and a lot of you playing around when it comes to Kendrick, but you got a lot of bite when it comes to the others. And I'm thinking like, okay, we still got about 50 seconds left of this track. So maybe that's when we finna start getting a beat switch and some real bars for Kendrick at least.
Nigga calling top to see if top want a piece of the top, want a piece of the top, want a piece of the nah, pussy, now you on your own when you speaking up. You don't roll deep to this, it's not fucking deep enough. Begging cops or not, boy, you not fucking beating us. Numbers wise, I'm out of here, you not fucking creeping up. Money wise, I'm out of here, you not fucking sneaking up. Cornball, your show money, merch money, feed us. I'ma let you niggas work it out because I seen enough. This ain't even everything I know, don't wait the demon up. This ain't even everything I know, don't wait the demon up. Drop and give me 50. All you fuck niggas team.
All right, so yeah, I wasn't impressed by this song at all. I didn't understand the hype around it. Again, I think a lot of people was more, like I said about the J. Cole response, a lot of people was more excited about the fact that Drake responded than the actual song itself. To me, it wasn't a bop or anything or a hit making song to me. As much as people try to push it as that, we all know a hit when we know a hit. And that just wasn't a Drake type of hit song. Of course, it was a jab, so it wasn't like he was trying to come out swinging real hard. This wasn't a haymaker, but I expected a lot more sting and a punch when I heard this, and it just wasn't hitting. He had a lot more to say about the others than he had about Kendrick, and I just understand why he took that approach. I felt like he should have just really stuck to Kendrick, or if he was going to refer to the others, they should have been the side dishes, and Kendrick should have been the main course. You know what I mean? So I just wasn't understanding the approach. But then again, I still gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe this is just the first song, and then the next one, he really about to go crazy on it. You know what I mean? So that's just where I was with this. And then we heard this.
What type have you smoking on Kendrick?
Now, this is when I thought, like, oh, he about to go crazy. Okay, now he about to go crazy on Kendrick.
Yeah, drop a 50 bag for the mob in a spot. Drop a 50 bag, 29 for the thought. I was really trying to keep it PG.
So then the song ended. Right? And we're here. So now it has been official. Drake has responded to Like That. I didn't like it. I thought it was mid. I thought all the bars he had towards Kendrick was corny. I definitely felt mentioning Whitney was just a huge mistake on his part. I thought it was a huge mistake on his part because you did it before. It's like it's almost coming off like you're just a one-trick pony at this point. But still and yet, after hearing this, I gave him the benefit of the doubt because we know that he did a back-to-back on Meek Mill. So I was expecting him to take the same type of formula he did and just turn it up. So, I thought this was going to be more like his charged up. He maybe wanted to handle the other ones, and then he wanted to focus straight on Kendrick on the next one. So I thought, okay, the next song he dropped, which I realized was a snippet, is going to be him giving us the back-to-back. And he about to go in on Kendrick, which I was looking forward to because I was like, okay, if that's what he's going to do, I'm looking forward to Kendrick responding to that because I knew off the back that this wasn't going to be the same type of turnout as the Meek Mill situation. This was going to be much different. I knew Kendrick was going to respond. It reminded me so much of how the Jay-Z and Nas situation happened. Like I said, I remember when Jay-Z popped out and he dissed Nas and people was like, they thought Nas was done. And I remember telling my homies, like, nah, he gonna respond, my boy. Just give it some time. Trust me, don't trip. But back then, music and life was so much different. People had no choice but to wait for a response. But those who were hip hop fans expected and knew a response was coming. So I knew that with this situation, that Kendrick was gonna respond. This wasn't gonna be a Meek Mill situation. And I felt like when Kendrick responded, it was gonna be hell to pay because he mentioned Whitney, which I still just don't get to this day why he decided to make things personal. And why he continued to make things personal. Now, after all of this come out, like I said, there's a lot of discourse online. At this point, y'all now put Kendrick Lamar on the clock to respond, right? Y'all put Kendrick on the spot to respond now. So mind you, we put a pin to how many days it was until the leak version came out of push-ups from the time like that dropped. Then we talk about how many days it took for it officially to come out on April 19th from when like that dropped. But for whatever reason, a lot of people online acted as if Kendrick Lamar was afraid. Like his silence meant that he was ducking smoke. Like he didn't have what it take. Like he wasn't built like that. I don't know where y'all got that narrative from. I don't know why y'all just automatically assume because Drake is popular that he could just determine the rules of engagement and that he wasn't gonna have to pay for the things that he was saying or that Kendrick wasn't built like that. I don't know where y'all got that from. I don't know where y'all got that from. But y'all found out the hard way that Kendrick was truly who they said he was, which was the boogeyman. So I want to thank y'all so much, man, for tuning in to this episode. My final thoughts after hearing push ups, I didn't like it. I thought it was way too much corniness when it came to Kendrick Lamar. And you focus way too much on the other dudes, which, you know, he had to respond to them. So I'm not going to say like he had to respond to them, but he made them too much of a main focus. And it felt like Kendrick was secondary focus on push-ups. But after hearing it, where we leave off now, in retrospect, I still had gave him the benefit of doubt, expecting the next song to be the one where he goes really in on Kendrick. And I was looking forward to seeing what that sounded like and how Kendrick was going to respond to it. But as we find out, the next song that dropped came from Drake, and he took it to another path that I know he didn't expect to go the way that it did. So in the next episode, we're going to talk about Tailor Made Freestyle in a retrospective reaction of how I felt about it, listening to it, and then, you know, we're going to give a retrospective to everything that went down from that moment forth. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share this series and this video with your peoples, man. I'm glad that y'all are watching these, y'all engaging with me. Tell me in the comments how you felt about push-ups when you first heard it. And again, I know we get into the meat and potatoes of this all, so please be respectful when giving your opinion. If you start to have some discourse or some back and forth with somebody, be respectful. We ain't got to get crazy with it. You could like Drake. We could like Kendrick Lamar. We could also coexist in this thing and be respectful. But more than anything, over here, we hip-hop fans. And hip-hop fans, we understand what this whole thing is about. And we knew that it was just about hip-hop. This is your boy, Raynell Jamal. And I'm going to see y'all on the next episode where we discuss Tailor Made Freestyle. Peace.